Hi, I'm Mary Logsden, and today I'm here at your library with two very special guests who are going to join me to talk about a wonderful partnership that is occurring now at your library. So as I said, I have got some guests with me here today, and I'm just really delighted because we've been working together for several months now, and it's just really nice to bring you out before the public so we can talk a bit about what's happening at the library currently. And so I'd like to welcome Annika and Sarah. Of course, Sarah's here and visible at the library all the time. And so it's just really nice to bring you both here to talk about one particular project that we're engaged in. And I'm going to ask you first, Annika, to just introduce yourself and explain to us what the role is that you're in currently that's connected you to the library.
Okay. So I wear several hats. I work at Des Moines Area Community College here in Ames at the Hunziker Center. And one of my hats is I'm the local coordinator, and I oversee the Ames Adult Education and Literacy Program, which is a mouthful.
Yeah.
And we run non-credit English as a second language classes. Those are free, and we also offer high school completion options. So we have high school equivalency classes and adult high school diploma coursework. So my one hat is coordinating that program. The other hat is being an instructor. So I teach math, reading, writing, and various independent study classes.
Great. And is that in the Hunziker Center, the DMAC branch of the Hunziker Center here in Ames?
That's right, yep, in
Wonderful.
Southeast Ames.
Okay, great. And Sarah, tell us a little bit about what you're doing at the library these days.
I am the volunteer services coordinator, so I function primarily to support library services and programming through recruiting, training, and managing a crew of almost 600 volunteers. So I do whatever I can to just make sure things are running as smoothly and successfully as possible as far as our volunteers go.
Great. And several months ago, I was really pleased to be in touch with Annika, who reached out to the library to suggest that we partner to bring some kind of library services to your role at DMAC in the form of tutors. So tell me a little bit about this audience that we're trying to reach together between DMAC and Ames Public Library volunteers.
So we're reaching our student body, my program student body, and that's a pretty diverse student body. We serve students from age 16 right now up to age 67, so we have a grandpa in the program. And it's a very diverse body in terms of cultural backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, political and religious beliefs. So really wide variety, but what's common to all of our students is that they didn't complete their high school diplomas for a number of different reasons. And as a result, a lot of them have some challenges, including keeping or obtaining a good job in the first place, getting job promotions, helping their children with homework. So common, again, is a goal to obtain their high school diplomas.
Okay, so you're already helping to meet their needs through the classes that you offer.
That's right.
But then I know that you identified that for some of these students, they would also benefit from additional one-on-one assistance, and I think that was a piece that we were hoping that we could help. Satisfy through our own volunteer recruitment. So, Sarah, how is that going?
It's going really well. We've primarily started with focusing on our existing volunteer core, and we've gotten a great response from our dedicated library volunteers. They're here because they believe in our mission, and this certainly connects really well with that. We are now expanding out into trying to recruit more into the community because the need is large, and we would like to see that the group of volunteer tutors really grow and expand. So we've started partnering with various agencies in the Ames area, including this opportunity, to hopefully encourage people to join our mission.
What would you say are some of the characteristics of a great tutor for this particular program, a volunteer tutor for this program?
Right, so I think probably the key characteristic is a passion for really helping students reach their goals. That would be the primary characteristic. But also important is recognizing that our students, they're adult learners, so they come with a wealth of life experiences, different cultural backgrounds, different interests. So I think a great tutor is going to tap into that and build upon the students' backgrounds. Another key characteristic would really be a infinite patience and an ability to try to explain things in different ways. I think mainstream education has not worked for a lot of our students, and so we need to think outside the box and be a bit creative in terms of how we reach our students.
Okay. I know one of the ways that we have tried to reach the students, and again through a partnership, and thanks to the Ames Public Library Friends Foundation, we've been able to fulfill this particular goal. We've added resources here at the library. So for example, we do have a number of print resources. If I were a tutor, I would be asking the question, if I were considering becoming a tutor, what kinds of resources do I have to work with the students on the curriculum that you're working on over at DMAC? So I know you helped us really review the materials that we have here at the library for adult learners. So are these proving to be useful to you?
Yeah, so what we do, Sarah recruits the tutors and I recruit the students, and then we try to match them so that the tutor's skill set and the students' needs are matched.
Right.
But as an example, we have some students who are a current student, for example, who has no literacy in her first language. She's an immigrant.
Okay.
And so this Challenger series we bought specifically for learners who really need to learn to read and write.
Okay.
So that's something that our program really hasn't been able to do, because we start typically at about a 6th grade, 8th grade level. If you want to give a grade level equivalence, we don't usually do that.
Right.
But we don't do the beginning literacy, so that one-on-one tutor can fill that gap. We have another tutor who's working actually in Spanish with a woman on math, and so then we have some resources here like this Number Power series that go beyond and enrich, kind of extend what we're doing in the classroom. So it's been wonderful to have these resources. Some of our students actually just come also, those that don't have tutors, to borrow some of the resources like this Social Studies for the HiSET test.
Great.
And again, just to extend what they're doing in the classroom.
And to add to that, a tutor does not have to come to this program with extensive education background.
That's good to
We're
say.
not looking for specifically teachers or anything like that. We'd like to really expand it to people who are compassionate, who are patient, who can commit to a year of service to the program, we hope. Education background would be helpful because you are sitting down and dealing with education issues, but really there's a wide variety of skills that a tutor can have coming into this program. Certainly having a Spanish background is not required. This was a great opportunity for this particular student, and we had the advantage of having a tutor that had some skills in that area. That was great, so we matched those two together. But there are really a wide range of people I would encourage to look into the program and see how they can assist.
Great.
So this is our chance to put a plug for people who have math and writing skills in particular. I would say those are the two areas that our students struggle with the most and request tutors the most. So if someone has math or writing gifts, one or the other, or both, we would certainly welcome them in particular.
That's good to hear, the particular needs. And Sarah, since you mentioned the commitment, I would like to just review. So when you are recruiting for tutors, what is the expectation in terms of like how frequently would they be meeting with students? Are the students enrolled for a particular length of time in these classes? Let's start with that. How do you enroll in the classes, first of all, from the student's point of view? And then I'm interested in knowing what you would like to see in terms of a commitment on the part of the volunteer tutor.
Okay. At DMAC, we offer, in the Adult Education and Literacy program, we offer entrance every 8 weeks. So we do registration every 8 weeks. Our next registration is coming up March 6th and March 8th.
Okay.
March 6th for the high school equivalency program, and then March 8th for ESL.
Okay.
And so students have to attend a registration session. We explain the program, they do some intake paperwork, and critically they do a reading assessment and a math assessment. And we use that then to place them in appropriate classes.
Okay. So then are you at the same time recruiting volunteers for this particular 8-week session? Volunteer tutors?
We would take a volunteer tutor at any point during the year,
Okay.
quite frankly,
Great.
because there's always a need to match a student. We have tried to coordinate our initial orientation for the tutors along with the beginning of that 8-week session,
Okay.
just because that's when Annika is really identifying the students, their needs, and if we could have support from a tutor for the entire 8 weeks, that would be great.
Okay.
It does not have to be that way.
Okay.
Like I said, if you
There
called
is
me at any
flexibility.
point, we would try to facilitate your participation.
And that's pretty consistent with the way we look at volunteers overall at the library. So we
Correct,
do certainly encourage people who are thinking about volunteering at the library to not to see a barrier, any scheduling as a barrier. You know, contact us, and we want to talk with you about where you might be able to help us in the library generally, but specifically for this program as well. I know that you want to work with people who are passionate in the community, who want to participate in some way with helping with adult learning.
Right, and so to answer your previous question, we ask our tutors to commit to 1 to 2 hours a week, but
Okay.
it is something that they agree on with their student. So
Okay.
the scheduling is very flexible. Some of our
Terrific.
students need to work with someone during the daytime because their children are in school and that's their only free time or working around work schedules. Others need the evening, others need the weekend. So I work hard to find a good match for the
Right.
tutor and the student.
And I know that another role that the library is playing in order to support this activity is that we are making available the study rooms here at the library. For example, you do ask people to meet in a public place. Is that true? I mean, typically like at the
Right.
Hunsaker Center or at the library?
Right, one or the other.
One
yeah.
or the other. So if they do come to the library, if they find the library is a good meeting place for them, we will accommodate their needs to have a study room. And so we're really excited for people to let us know that when they're going to be coming, and we'll work with them in that
That's
regard.
been fantastic. Our
Yeah.
students really have enjoyed that they have the private space
Yeah.
to work with their tutors.
That's great. What kind of training do you provide to the tutors once you've identified that they're eager, they're ready? What do you do to give them some skills?
So we are required to have our tutors do 6 hours of professional development a year. So we try to make good use of their time. We have 3 hours of pre-service training, and that's an overview of literacy realities, overview of our program, and the high school equivalency tests.
Okay.
So the tutors know the end goal for our students.
Right.
We also talk about characteristics of adult learners and provide tutoring tips. We give lists of resources, show them where the print materials are in the library.
Okay.
We orient them to this facility.
Oh, great.
So they're familiar with their environment and the support, not just through our materials, but also through staff. You know, what we can do to facilitate their relationship with their student and make it as successful as possible from our end. So that's part of the orientation as well.
Great.
And then we have we ask them to do an additional 3 hours of online training through Pro Literacy. They're nonprofit, the literacy giant in the U.S. And so they have great courses, and we ask tutors to just choose trainings that would be appropriate for their students' needs. So it could be learning how to use graphic organizers effectively, or how to build reading comprehension, those kinds of trainings.
Okay.
And those are all free.
All free.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. If people wanted to find out more about enrolling in the DMAC program, what are some methods that they can use?
The best way is probably to call me. I don't know if
Okay.
I can give a plug, but
Yeah.
so that number is just 515-290-4775. They could stop by the DMAC Hunsaker Center and get a list of the next registration sessions and the class schedule. They can also look online at dmac.edu.
Okay, and I will make a plug for the library as well, because we do our very best to keep current flyers and information about the program here at the Adult Services Desk, and certainly we would point people in the direction, in your direction, if they come to our desk and ask about how to enroll. So the library is always a resource for folks who are in the community, obviously, who are looking for to be connected with other resources in the community. Sarah, if somebody's interested in becoming a library volunteer, what should they do?
Well, we try to make that as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you had some questions about tutoring and the commitment, feel free to call Annika at that number as well. She can fill in a little bit more specifics about what that tutoring session might look like. On a weekly basis. Or you can certainly call me. My phone number is 239-5663. That's my direct line, or you can call the library at 239-5663. 5646, and there's a phone tree that would direct you to volunteer services.
Okay.
Emailing is a great way to contact me as well. It's just my sbohlke@amespubliclibrary.org.
Okay.
We also have some contact information on our website.
Yes.
So you certainly can go to the Ames Public Library website. There is a menu item for volunteers, and it has all the information. It has a brief description of the volunteer tutor expectations, and then also some other opportunities that the library has as well.
Great, and I know you do a really great job of keeping that updated. Is there anything special right now? Are there other volunteer opportunities at the library that are needing some?
It's always changing.
Yeah.
We really are. We're starting to look at some specialized volunteer needs, including assistance with some computer classes, basic computer skills that Adult Services is offering. We're also looking at some supportive services for Project Smiles, which is our outreach program, early literacy program to area daycares. So there's a wide variety of things that we list on a regular basis on the website.
So definitely check out the library's website.
Yep.
Annika, one last question. Is this 12 months a year? Yeah, 12 throughout the whole year that you offer these every 8 weeks, or are they
Right, so
semester?
Yep, so the fall we offer 2 cycles, we
Okay.
call them. So an August intake and an October intake. Then we
Okay.
have 2 in the spring, so January and March.
Okay.
And then the summer session tends to be, we have just a shorter summer session from mid-May to the end of June. And then July and part of August we're on break.
Okay, so we're entering our second season as partners between between DMAC, Adult Ed, and the Ames Public Library, and we really, with this particular program, and we're very appreciative of the role that the Ames Public Library Friends Foundation has played in helping us to purchase additional materials. I think we're off to a great start, and I really hope maybe you can come back in about a year or so, and we can just do a little refresher conversation about where we are after partnering for a full year together.
Well, thank you, Mary. Thanks for inviting me and giving us this chance to highlight this program.
Well, thank you so much. And Sarah, thanks a lot. It's always
Thanks,
fun
Mary.
to talk with you about what's happening here at the library with volunteers.
There's a lot of exciting things.
Thanks. And now stay tuned for some of our new arrivals that have been added to the library collection since the last time we met. I am so grateful that Annika and Sarah took the time to talk with me today about our current partnership between DMAC and Ames Public Library. I'd like to point out that there are a lot of activities happening at the library to support adult education, adult learning, and I invite you to take a close look at our March issue of Page 1. We will have there listed also our computer basics offerings for March. We have a rotating sequence of computer basics courses that we offer at the library, and that is facilitated by library staff members. So take a look at the computer basics offerings in March. In addition, we have regular conversations meetings at the library. Once a week we have conversations in English. So for those folks who are new to English, who wish to gather at the library for just informal conversations with library staff and others in the community, we hope that you'll check us out. That's at 11 o'clock on Mondays, Conversations in English here at the library in the auditorium. In addition to Conversations in English, though, we also have Conversations in Spanish weekly. We have Conversations in French weekly. And then twice a month we have Conversations in Chinese. And once a month we have Conversations in Arabic. So in the last several months we have increased the offerings in the library regarding language and conversation, and it's just something that we're really very proud of, and thanks to interested folks in the community, we're able to branch out and to offer some of these in languages beyond English. So please check out again our Page One newsletter where all of this information is listed. If you have any questions, stop by the Adult Services Desk, give us a call, send us an email, look on our Facebook page. There are so very many ways for you to connect with Ames Public Library, and I sure hope that you do so. Thanks so much for joining me today. This is Mary Logsdon at your library.